Hi there, greetings, welcome back. This is just a part 2 of the Winlog 32 log video that I made. I've been asked to just come back again and cover how to set up the DX cluster. So I'm going to get straight on with it using the Winlog 32. This is the program that we've got up and running. So if you've downloaded Winlog 32, it should look something like this. Probably yours is going to look more like this when you originally set it up. Obviously you might not have any log entries. So I've been asked how to set up the DX cluster. So if you look on the bottom of my toolbar, or on the basement, or the base of the screen should I say, we've got a couple of windows. So we've got one window which clicks on the actual log, and the other window opens this box up here. So this is permanently open at the bottom of your toolbar. I'll just bring it up again. It's that one there. You just basically click on the bottom and click on that one. Let's take a look at this. This is the actual cluster running. To get this cluster running, I actually clicked on the DX cluster at the top and I selected auto run cluster at startup. So this is an option that you need to select to begin with. So simply click on the DX cluster tab, scroll down to the auto run cluster feature, click on it, and that will then put an arrow in. So if I do that, that's how I highlight that. That will work. I can actually run more than one cluster, but for now let's just talk about running one cluster at a time. So we've got the cluster set up to run automatically for whenever I open this program. So that should open up a separate window. The separate window will look like that, this small one here. So to enable the green visible display which you saw on mine, what I have to do is I have to select a supply of feed. There's various different operatives using the cluster system. So I'll click on this particular box here. I'll just try and expand this page a little bit, make it a little bit easier. It's not actually opening up for me at the minute. There we go, that's better. So this is the cluster control box. Pretty much, I'm struggling to expand it, but bear with me on that. So as you can see, we've got different stations operating the cluster. I'm currently connected to GB7DJK. There's various ones you can select. So if I was to select, for example, GB7MBC, I'd just click on that one, I'd put my cursor in the box, double click it, and a new site would be selected, which I've now selected. You saw how easy that was. I'm going to go back to the one that I was operating. Well, it doesn't really matter, I can use this one. Some require a login, some require other features, but most of them are pretty straightforward and free to access. You may get booted out of certain ones if they're overpopulated, but that doesn't happen very often. So I'll show you again. Open that box up. If you're in a different part of the world, you've got various options to choose from. For example, Zulu Lima 2 Alpha Romeo November, DX Spider on that one. So that's the very end of the scale for the clusters. I don't want that, I want to go back to where I was. So I've managed to connect and I'm still on my cluster, so I'm up and running. Let's have a quick look again. I don't know how I've managed to do that. Oh, just have a look. Full list up, disconnect my cluster and reconnect. So we're connected to GB7MBC. So I can now minimize that and the cluster. I'm going to close the program just to show you how it works. So shut the program down, and now I will reopen Winlog 32. So from the beginning, the cluster should automatically come back in and automatically open. So there we go. So I've connected to GB7MBC cluster, and straight away we're picking up the spots. So that gets populated. So I'm just going to show you a couple of other little features now which you can use, which are quite useful. If you click on this button, this will give you various options. This is once the cluster's open, so this is a different page to that little box I showed you a minute ago to connect. So this one gives us the options to set it up how we want. So we can select different spots from different obviously different bands. So if I just wanted to select, for example, spots from 18 megahertz, I'd click in that box there and I'd only get 18 megahertz, but I don't want that. I want all the spots, so I leave all mine empty, unclicked. That automatically selects every band. There's other information I could do. I could add it to the database, I could add it to the solar database and so on. I don't particularly use that. I don't use any of these features, but they are there to look at. We can put sound notifications on if there's a certain station that we're looking for and it's on our watch list. It will notify us with a audio notification. This is the host. It's automatically configured to WLNET, so WinlogNet. This is the POP3 stuff, which I don't trouble. I never mess about with it. I could change the email address to my email address. This is the standard address to show you how it works. It comes with the software. I don't really use this feature, so it's not anything I need to adjust. We've got the sound, we've got the auto check. So the auto check is checking for DXCC in my choice. I could check it for worked all zones, islands on the air, grid locators, but I've chose DXCC, which is looking for certain countries. Again, that's up to you. You don't necessarily need to have that clicked. So yeah, going back to that, I'll just unhighlight that. Pretty much that's the basic features. I don't bother connecting to the packet cluster. We can leave that as it is, disconnected. In actual fact, I don't use much of this. I just generally use things like the show tab. So I'm not particularly interested in working digital modes, so I've got this particular feature saying don't show FT8. So with a bit of luck I won't get the FT8 spots highlighted. I will get the SSB spots highlighted, which I mentioned on the previous video. So that's just a quick look at the setup of the green part of the cluster, which obviously, just closed it, is running from this particular button here, which I click on it. It's early morning, we're not doing too well with the clicks. There we go. So that is the cluster there. So I set it up quickly by selecting the source, which is GB7MBC. I'm going to show you the other one now, change it to another source. So I'll go back to the DJK one, which is that one, double click on it, new site selected, and it's as easy as that. I've connected straight up to that particular DX cluster. And all this was enabled by originally setting it up through the auto run cluster at the startup on that particular tab at the top. So hopefully that has made things a bit more easy for you, and with a bit of luck you've sussed that one out for yourself. So catch you again on the next video. M0YKS now signing out, and have a good day. Enjoy using Winlog 32 free download courtesy of G0 Charlie Uniform Zulu. Hope you've enjoyed this, hope it's cleared things up for you. Thanks for watching, and if you need any more information, drop me a comment and we'll see what we can do. Have fun on the bands, enjoy your weekend.